Well, Kevin and I have been here, started in Johannesburg, all the way through South Africa to Piet Retief, and now we're on our way to Swaziland, to Babon, Swaziland. Having a great time videotaping the nature, the land, and the people of South Africa and Swaziland.
It's been a blast.
Tell me, what do you think, Kevin? It's your first time here.
Well, I'm in Swaziland now. This is the first time for Swaziland. Just entered. We've been in Piet Retief, is that how you say it?
That's it.
Out in the trees and the little huts out there and stuff. That was pretty amazing. You're just out there on a dirt road, and all of a sudden there's little huts everywhere, people living out there. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, yeah, and you'll be going along and just be trees and huts, or trees and grass, and then boom, it'll be 10 huts. A little community out in the middle of nowhere, 30 miles from town, 50 miles from town.
You honk your horn, you can see a hut way out there somewhere, and you honk your horn and they come running out to get the food. They know that you're bringing the food to them, so I thought that was pretty wild.
Yeah, we'd flag down, find a child maybe walking by and flag the child down and say, hey, get up over the hill and go tell your friends we're here. And they'd all come up, and you may have seen some of the footage. We'd pull the 25-kilo bags of maize out and stick it right on the heads of the ladies. They just take it and walk it a mile back to their hut.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the kids and stuff out there too. The people that were had been on the Flax. Some of them had just been on it for a couple of weeks, and then others had been on it for longer time than that. And it was just amazing to actually see them and them tell you that they were sick and in bed, and then now that they're better, you know, that was
up walking around and working and all that just after a week or two.
Yeah, that was amazing. And they're talking about their skin being better and stuff like that, and to actually be out there and to realize that flax that I've taken in my kitchen, you know,
right,
is out there in the middle of nowhere where most people wouldn't even think anybody's living, but it's out there. And they're being affected, and their lives being changed, and they're living a much healthier life than what they were just a week before they got on the Flax.
Right.
So.
Right. You know, also when we would go from hut to hut, it seemed like every one of them, every hut had someone in that hut that was HIV positive or dying of AIDS, and so we're going hut to hut, and we're interviewing them, and they've all been put on the Flax Lignans or the FHL. They could have been 6 months ago or just a week or two ago, because the grassroots ministry that's doing the feeding and the care of these communities, they're going out every week and checking out on these huts and these homes, the children and the adults, and finding out what they need. So if they need Flax Lignans, if they need FHL, they get it to them. And what was impressing me was, like yesterday, we went all day through that whole area, and not one of them said, yeah, I tried that FHL and it didn't work for me. Every one of them said.
Everyone said the FHL, they wanted more.
That's right.
Give me more. I need more.
Yeah, every one of them had an amazing testimonial, and something that I found, it seems like from the children to the adults, the doctors, the medical doctors will tell you that these guys are so malnourished because they're just barely surviving. They really don't have enough food. They're living on maize, and they're not getting protein or leafy greens and the things that they need. So if they're just sick, or maybe they have AIDS, HIV, one or the other, when they get on that FHL, man, all of a sudden their bodies start exploding with vibrancy because they're getting nutrition for the first time in their lives.
Well, I thought it was pretty amazing too that one of Pastor Leonard's leaders that lives out in those villages is a girl as well, I think 24 or 25 years old, and she had told us yesterday that she's HIV positive and is on the Flax, but then when we stopped at that graveyard, we had asked her if she knew of anybody that was in the graveyard, and she said yeah, and she mentioned a brother, a sister.
3 brothers.
And another
Three
brother.
brothers, a sister.
And aunts, uncles, her grandmother there, you know, and when the brothers were in their 30s, 40s, and that's young.
One of them was 25.
One of them was 25, and what that means is dying of that age. They died of AIDS, and she confirmed that when we asked her, but they're dying young.
Her whole family's been wiped out with AIDS, and something that they mentioned there in that graveyard is that A graveyard used to be a place where you take old people
and bury them.
And now the graveyards are filled with young people that are just missing their destinies.
And you can see some of the graves were smaller, you know, and not a full-grown person yet, but yet they had died of AIDS. And
right, some of them were children that had died. It's amazing. We don't know how blessed we are in America, and hope that some of these pictures that you're seeing will help you to understand what's really going on in other parts of the world. This is literally the third world, and this is a reality for millions of people. I've heard South Africa has 33 million people dying of AIDS right now. That's, what do we have? That's about 3,000 people a day. No, I'm sorry, that's 6,000 people a day dying of AIDS. Remember what happened at 9/11 when we lost 3,000 people in one day? It took our whole nation by surprise. It shocked everyone. We lost 3,000 in one day, and they lose 6,000 every day. Today, tomorrow, the next day, next Sunday, next Monday, 6,000 per day.
And even talking to the doctor today was, you know, if they can get in the cities, even if they can get to and get the proper medicine, he was talking about the nutrition factor, though they're not eating the right amount of nutrition. And with the FHL, it gives them that extra boost in nutrition that they need to continue.
Yeah, so immune system builder and nutrition all packed in one little jar that they don't have to refrigerate it, they don't have to take it on time. If they take too much, it's food. If they don't take enough, it's food. And take it whenever they can get to it, and it's the perfect answer for rural, indigent, third world people.
It's been an amazing trip.
Yeah, it sure has. And you might wonder why we're standing here by our trusty white Honda.
This is the big car.
When we got to South Africa, they handed us the keys to our little thing that it would have just been me in which I said, look, I can't do this. I can't ride in this car.
This is the big car
they gave us. The big one. They said, well, we'll upgrade you to the big car. And so we got the big four-door Honda, and it has been through the mountains, and it has been places where the insurance wouldn't cover it.
It has not been off the tar road.
No, we promise. Not in the last 30 minutes. So with that, we'll check back in with you, and Daniel and Kevin saying God bless you.
Bye-bye.
From Swaziland.